Funny things, Japanese cars. They get older, they get faster, but the parts do wear out. So I'm hoping today that I can get an N14 window mechanism to work in this. I ordered the part online, it was only 25 quid, second hand of course. So what we're going to do, grab some tools, we'll whip off the door card and we'll give it a go, see if it fits. First things first, nice cup of tea. Alright, easy job. Remove the door card. It's a screw in there, which I haven't actually got in at the moment. So I'm going to re-prep all this and clean it all up and see if it's all faded. So I'm going to attempt to readdress that. And there's a couple of screws behind these little panels here. All you have to do is just unscrew those. There we go, let's do our handle off. It's not actually connected to anything. So it's not actually working this, it's actually bolted closed. And then there should be just studs all the way around. And that, he says, there we go, lifts off. I'll get this out first. There's a bolt there holding it actually in. It's in the actual mounting bolt. So I'll pop all these out, we'll compare them on the bench, and hopefully, touch wood, they should be the same. Need to clean them there as well to give that a bit of a wipe. I may even see get some plastic while this is off as well and put a proper membrane on, which I haven't done with any of the doors. Don't need to I've waxed all in here, but I may give it another coat, so I've got the other new spray wax, so I'll probably do that as well. Right, okay, so I'll get a, actually might come off with a screwdriver, and that one won't. Nope, I'll grab a ratchet. I don't think I've even got the motor in this anymore since I took all that off. I'm just using it basically as a brace to keep the window up. So, all looks pretty much the same. I could be wrong. Try that for now. Yeah, extended that piece up there. Been so long since I actually took this car apart. Surprised me what I've done. I'm bodging up bits and pieces inside. Keep the window closed. Should now come out. There's no movement on this. Down there. Right. Go and have a look at this on the bench. See the difference. Hopefully, it should fit. We hope. So having them side by side, there is a little bit of difference. As you can see, this is pretty much the distances. Pretty much exactly the same. So we're all right there. The distance between that and that is a little bit off, so either I drill new holes, which I think I probably might do, or I might just make spaces. We'll see. And the distance between the glass as well, this is a different angle, so I don't want to start taking this apart if I can help it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and slide this in and see if it'll actually line up with anything in there. So I'm going to have to just extend the bottom ones so it all lines in. and see where this actually lines up with the actual glass. So what I'll do is I'll just drag it over to the car and we'll just use a bit of trial and error, see if we can make it fit. Which I don't see why we can't. It's not exactly a complicated piece. So this is what we got so far. Bolts in nicely here. These two bolts. Pulled it in a little bit, it's a little bit tight. The two bolts at the top are probably, say, I don't know, 5-10 mil off. So I'm just going to probably drill a hole there, and then just bolt them in there. So that should be fine. This side, you can see that. I'll just get my torch in a minute. This side here bolts into the runner, into the bottom of the window runner nicely. This one you can see is a mile off, so I'm going to actually make a spacer for that. So that should hopefully work. And the wiring is pretty much plugged straight in, except up is down and down is now up. So it's probably just a case of swapping these wires over here. Probably just either deepen it and then putting it back in, which I'll probably do. Or you can cut it and solder it if you wanted to. But yes. So I think that's pretty much a success. So I think it's going to work quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is actually mount the motor somehow. Because the motor is a mile off, so I'm going to probably have to make some sort of bracket to attach to. Just pull back so you can actually see. The mounting hole for the motor there, it should be basically up here. But it won't actually go that far, so I'm going to have to make some sort of bracket cut so it can sit in this little pocket here and drill some holes so I can actually bolt it in. But it's pretty straightforward. It's just a case of drilling a few holes, I think. Maybe making a bracket to fit that to that, just to keep it sturdy. Wiring a case is just swapping that round so that works correctly in the right orientation. So I'm pretty happy with the way it works. All I've got to do now is drill 2 holes, which I'll do next to get this all secure. Make a spacer for the actual glass. So down is now up, so I've got to go down, which is up. That makes sense. You can see it catches on the motor as it goes down, so I've got to actually put that in the correct place in a minute. Yeah, so just make a little bracket to go from there, bolt there. In fact, I had one on the old one to hold the glass up with, so I could probably use that. It's just a little brass thing. So I'll probably do that next, and then drill these 2 holes here next to bolt those in, and then we'll figure out how we're going to hold the motor in. But for a case of 25 quid, I think that's going to be a bit of a bargain actually. It's going to be a nice little thing. It needs to sit in the runner a bit better. It's sitting over, so, well, that's just a case of that being in the wrong place and this not being bolted in. So we'll do that next. We'll make a little bracket for that, drill these 2 holes, get the actual runner secure, and then we'll figure out how we're going to hold the motor in. So we're all bolted in, and it seems to work fine. The only main issue I had was when the window went up to here, you see with the light, it actually pushed the actual glass this way, so it actually came out of the rubber and was actually jammed against here. So I alleviated that by, when I made this spacer here, this bracket, connecting bracket, I had the actual glass on this side of the bracket, so I brought it onto this side of the bracket. It's dropped down, it's only 12 mil out from the actual bracket hole, so you don't have to make a little spacer for that. But as I made it on this side of the actual metal, that alleviated that. I also put a 1 mil washer in here as well, just to space that out as well on this side. But that's fine. It seemed to work quite nicely. I bolted the motor in up here first. That caught on the check strap when you close the door, banged onto the back of the motor. It does catch on this little bit here, but I'm going to bend this out and I'm going to make a bracket from there to there just to connect that. But it's pretty secure just with 1 bolt. It's bolted through this little hole I drilled here. It's pretty secure. All I've got to do now is tidy the wiring, either deepen this or cut it and resolder it. But I'm not bothered about being up and down being up. work. But yeah, it works quite nice. Yeah, it's quicker on the way down because it's got gravity on its side. If it goes down to the factory settings, it never goes all the way down. Don't know why, I suppose they haven't got enough room. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to make that bracket for this section here, bolt that in, clean it all up, put some double-sided tape around the edge, put a plastic film over it, get the door card back on after I've cleaned all this dirt up in here. A bit annoying. A good wipe down. Tidy the wiring up a little bit on the inside. It's supposed to be on the inside. Comes around here, through here like that. Put the door card and the handle back on, and hopefully this side's done. And I've got online, order another one for the other side, and I'll have all 4 electric windows working again, which I'm really pleased about. It's just another little problem that was annoying me. Okay, so I'll crack on, make that bracket up, give it a clean, and then we'll have a look at it when it's all built up. Right, so I've made the bracket up. I'll probably just trim that edge off there a little bit. It's just a piece of scrap aluminium I had. Maybe I'll spray with some wax oil. I have done it before, so I just want to protect it a little bit more. Not that it ever sees rain or wet weather, just so I want to keep it as nice as possible. So what I'll do next, I'm going to give this a wipe over. I've got some double-sided tape, I'm just going to clean this up. Now I've got some plastic sheet and replace all that. Put the membrane back on there. In there. Most of these corners through here. Okay, seems to work fine now. I was worried I'd actually knacker the motor because it started going really slow, then realised the actual battery had gone flat. So I've got battery on charge now. Sounds like a Nissan. Double-sided tape I got with the garage insulation kit. It's pretty strong stuff. Hopefully it should be strong enough to hold the plastic membrane. If it's not, then I'll get some non-drying mastic, which I'm not really keen on, to be honest, because it does make a bit of a mess. I may actually swap these wires around yet, I don't know. See how I feel. It's not very often I have passengers in the back of this. It's just nice to be able to actually have the windows down in summer. Not that it's got aircon anymore, so I removed all the aircon and power steering. I was on the other car, the actual donor car, not on this car. This car never came with aircon or power steering. A little bit more there. Just across there, I think. Plastic sheet. It's a heavy duty plastic sheet. Edge first, it's on a clean edge. I'll trim this as well while it's on. I'll go and get a blade in a minute. Give it a really good trim so it's nice and tight. Trim around the handle, of course. And a hole for the wiring. I think I'll have a hole round about there. Okay. Just trim around here. Bit of all-purpose dressing. Like I say, up is down and down is up. I can swap that at some point. I ain't too bothered. As long as it works, it's better than not working and being bolted shut. But that, I'm really happy with. I think that is pretty much job. What I'll do is I'm going to put some back to black along here, I think, a little bit of silicone, just give it a little more smooth. It's a bit dry in there anyway. A little polish in there, so I've got a bit of a squirt the old silicone stuff in a sec. So there we go, all finished. Hope you've liked this video. It's not been a bad job, actually quite simple. A little bit of fabrication, a few brackets made, a few holes drilled. But yeah, quite pleased actually. N14 parts fit on an N13, which is quite cool. So if you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.